Well, Josh, we're back with another Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, and I'm wearing my own T-shirt here. You might be wondering why. Well, here in Northeast Ohio is an absolute downpour of rain, so I had to change shirts. Luckily, I had one of my own in the trunk, along with about 40 other unsold ones. So I had a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I luckily did not have to go outside today, so I avoided that rain. Plus, if this shirt had gotten wet, I have about 12 of these. It's like a cartoon character opening their closet, so I'll just throw on another one. But are you ready for another episode of TNG?
I am. I'm excited.
Okay, we're coming off of Ship Mine,
Starship Mine.
Starship Mine, which was a pretty good episode. So we're counting down here to the end of the season, and it's been pretty good.
Good evening, Mr. Data.
Actually, good morning, sir. Ship status is...
No need to report. I'm just here to do some work on my own.
Data in command. On that night shift.
Yeah.
Library computer is temporarily offline. Library systems have been allocated to stellar cartography.
What are the cartographers doing?
Picard's got brain rot. Now he's not going to be able to do it.
T. Earl Grey, hot.
Replicator systems are offline at the request of stellar cartography.
Was the fish just for chain of command? I mean...
I thought Stewart was cool with it from going on forward.
Yeah.
Nice hallway shot.
In or out, just close that door. Whoever you are, you just ruined 4 hours of work.
You might have taken the simple precaution of locking the door.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, shit.
Captain Picard.
I assume that you must be Lieutenant Commander Darren.
Yes, sir.
New character unlocked.
You're new on the Enterprise. You'll have to learn to expect the unexpected.
I think you'll like this. You're bound to like one of them.
I look forward to sampling them.
If it works, we'll be able to predict the configuration of a star system that won't be formed for another 2 million years. I have a few things to do between now and then.
Yeah, something.
She can think of a few things to do.
It's 3 a.m. Nothing good happens after 3 a.m. So you want to...
I love just kind of nothing slice of life openings. Like, okay, new person here. She had 3 full pips. What is that?
Commander.
She is a commander?
Did you say Lieutenant Commander?
Let's think. I'm pretty sure 3 pips is like that's what Riker has, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Commander or just Commander. Is there a difference? I don't know. But
I guess you can be a commander and wear blue.
Well,
doesn't have to be strictly medical for the blue.
I think blue is also sciences or something, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's why. No, Data is in gold. Listen, man, I don't know.
Guys, these are just tools to tell a story with.
The words don't matter. I don't care.
You guys are missing the forest for the trees here, okay? Let's.
How does the episode make you feel?
What emotions did it bring out of you? What did you learn about life? Lessons.
Captain,
Damn, Riker.
we'll be arriving at the Borgulus Nebula in 3 hours.
Like all the way up there.
I would like to remind you of our concert this evening in 10 Forward.
I'll be there.
Awesome. You can tell he was a little happy by that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be close enough for you to slip away for a few days and see Wesley.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Jean-Luc. This is delicious. What is it?
It's a herbal tea blend. I met the new head of Stellar Sciences last night, Lieutenant Commander Darren.
There we go.
Did you know that it is now possible to predict the configuration of a star system? The whole thing is made possible by a complex mathematical construct, but that's only the foundation. Well, I know this is all pretty dry stuff. You know, we should be getting along to 10 Forward. We're going to be late for the concert.
I'm glad these two still have meals together.
Yeah, they're just like having dinner together, and also there was no conflict or anything in that conversation. It was just a conversation.
Do you think Beverly was going to be jealous? What do you mean you saw this Commander Darren at 3 a.m.?
I thought she might like not like that, but like just call it out jokingly, you know. Oh,
yeah.
So you like her, huh? But no, they didn't even get that far.
that her? She's already in the band? Troy's back in a regular uniform, I guess. I mean, her regular uniform.
I guess at this point, it's just when she's not on duty, she wears that. Even though everyone else wears their uniform, but whatever. Brent Spiner's a legit musician, man. Look at him. Damn.
Bro's a pro in all facets of life.
Imagine having just an iota of talent like this, I wish.
If only I tried things as a child.
I noticed that you played an F minor chord instead of a diminished D.
You're a musician. What's your instrument? We should play sometime.
But your choice in that arpeggio was delightful. Not at all what one would expect.
Now that I'm on your ship, maybe you should start expecting the unexpected.
Ooh, throwing it back at him.
Damn. 2 commercial breaks, still no plot.
I love it, man. The plot is life, man. This is the plot.
I was hoping that my people in spectral analysis could have another few hours on the main sensor array.
I'll see what I can do to find you some more time tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Damn it, Riker.
Is that the flute? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I always dress like this.
I hope you don't mind me dropping by like this.
No, please, come in. I'm delighted.
I think Patrick Stewart looks for any opportunity not to be in the uniform.
It's, Resican.
I've never seen one before.
They're not made anymore.
Damn.
Have you been playing long?
Yes, a long time.
Ah.
We should play together.
There isn't a piano.
Ah, but there is. I picked it up on Madeline, too.
Oh,
It's
that's
amazing.
badass.
You think this predates? Because I think they actually make these.
Probably does in real life.
I'm sorry.
Not quite my tempo.
Why don't we start with something a little simpler? How about...
How about hot cross buns? Oh, he knows this one.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Very good. Now let's have a little fun with it. Improvise around the melody. Anything you want. That's wonderful. Keep going.
Oh, it's so nice seeing him smile. It's a legit smile. After all the shit he's gone through.
Literally through hell. Lived a whole entire other life, tortured by Cardassians. Small talk. I just keep waiting for the other shoe to drop with this lady. And I'm just gonna...
No, don't do it, Alex. Don't do it. This is the episode.
That's going to end happily.
There you go. That's jazz right there.
You're definitely better than you think.
Oh. Oh. Just end the episode here. Just let him be happy.
Fencing partners cancelled for this afternoon. I was wondering if you wanted to join me. Doesn't matter, so long as you enjoy it.
Riker's face.
The
Carpal tunnel.
captain and I overdid it a little last night. The captain? I didn't know he played duets.
It's kind of funny that they kind of look alike.
This is a Beverly 2.0.
Oh, no.
There, that should help. That feels much better. Thank you. Good.
And there it starts.
Oh, boy.
Look, Bev, you've had 5.5 seasons, okay? Okay, to be fair, 4.5, she got fired for one of them, but
Yeah.
but hey.
I like their platonic relationship more.
This thing again, this is an interesting space we've seen before.
Did they fix the handles that he cut off last episode? You want to be super private for this, huh?
Yeah, but interesting space. Are these acoustics going to be good for a duet?
This is the most acoustically perfect spot on the ship.
There we go. Oh, the Moonlight Sonata.
That's beautiful. I've never heard you play with such feeling.
Oh my god, you're... Oh my god. Oh, they're all going to hear it. Oh.
Is there a problem, Jordy?
I hear music.
I do not hear anything.
You sure? I know I heard something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good, Commander.
Because you still got to be the captain.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about a matter of protocol.
Can I sleep with my commander?
You would like my opinion about you and Commander Darren.
Damn it, Deanna.
It's that obvious.
In a way that pleases people who care about your happiness, yes, it is. Captain, are you asking my permission?
If I were, would you give it?
Yes.
Wrecker and I have been in an open relationship for 6 years now. It's fine.
Just make sure it's an open relationship and then it's okay.
I'm really very sorry about what happened in the turbolift. When the crew member walked in, I felt very self-conscious.
Now, I'm glad you told me. For a minute there, I thought I'd misread you. One kiss and you're off to find somebody else.
No, that's Riker.
Do you remember the folk melody that I played to you this morning?
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
What room is this?
I think it's his room.
The Enterprise encountered a probe that had been sent from the planet before it was destroyed. I lived a lifetime on that planet. And when I woke, all that I had left of that life was the flute that I taught myself to play.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to understand what my music means to me. And what it means for me to be able to share it with someone.
Let's get this tier list going, man. Holy shit. Fucking.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
bro.
Oh my god. My heart is pounding.
Transfers are to be approved by me before any offers are made. Cabot should stay where he is.
I realize I shouldn't have made the offer, but he's perfect for the job, and quantum mechanics is overstaffed anyway.
Look, I'll review the situation. I'll let you know as soon as I can.
They keep building up the tension between these two.
Yeah,
Like,
it's interesting.
yeah, like what's going to happen? I don't like it.
Maybe it's like Riker it feels conflicted because obviously he knows about their situation.
I'm beginning to feel uncomfortable with her requests.
Because of her relationship with me.
Yes, sir.
That's what he was afraid of.
I've always had absolute confidence in your judgment.
Thank you, sir.
But make sure you tell her yes.
Yeah. Do not give my wife a job here.
Your wife.
Apparently, they're generated by particle emissions from the Bersalan sun.
Yeah, he's her husband, so he's already not listening.
Oh, I'm boring you.
No, you're not at all.
Honeymoon phase is already over.
Commander Riker came to see me this afternoon.
He thought I was asking for special treatment. I have to worry about what people are thinking about me. I'll be concentrating on the wrong thing, and I won't be as effective an officer.
You get used to it.
But you mustn't compromise yourself. You must do what you have to do.
I fucking love this episode, dude. Don't fuck it up, show. You're doing something right now. You're doing something very special.
There must be one of any number of people that coordinate their deployment.
Didn't we agree not to let our relationship get in the way of our work?
He's trying to protect her.
I think so.
I'll be all right.
I swear to God, if she fucking dies, bro.
No! I hadn't thought about that, dude. No!
Oh my God.
He's estimating it'll hit the colony in less than 50 minutes. Ensign, make sure you maintain it.
Okay, Robert Weimer, great shot here. Look at that young ensign over there.
Energize.
Oh God.
I hope to God she survives, but regardless of that, for Picard, he has to deal with that, every time she's in a dangerous situation. Like, he loves all the crew, obviously, but it'd be different with her. It's another consequence of having a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
How many more colonists do you have to transport?
73, sir. At least 10 more minutes.
The storm will reach the northern perimeter in 4 minutes.
Who do you got to choose, the colonists or?
Fuck the colonists. That's why I can't be captain.
It is imperative that you hold your position until we've finished evacuating the colony.
Did you fall in the dirt?
Maybe some.
No, I know, yeah, put on her, but it looks funny.
Which teams are missing?
He knows what he
3
wants
and
to
6.
ask.
Mm-hmm.
The last I knew, Commander Darren was on Team 6.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
We have found survivors, sir. They are beaming up now.
I'm on my way.
Excellent shot under the table.
Yes. I like the closing the flute. Closing off his heart. Not gonna open up to anyone ever again, but.
Oh
Let's
my
fucking
God.
go!
Oh my God.
Here, let me help you.
Richardson didn't make it. All Day and I could do was stand there.
Oh, the guy that was with him.
Part of you must have blamed me.
A small part, maybe.
I've lost people under my command, but never someone I've been in love with. I just began to shut down. I didn't want to think or feel. And the only thing I could focus on was my music and how it would never again give me any joy. And I knew that I could never again put your life in jeopardy.
If I stayed here, you might have to. I'll apply for a transfer. Promise me something. Don't give up your music.
Just-
Oh, I'm crying like a fucking baby.
oh, look at you!
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh, wrap it up. The journey's over. The journey's over. Wrap it up. Oh my god. Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, we took a few minutes and I cried, and we're back. And we just watched Lessons, and now we're going to start with our whiteboards. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay. Well, for me, this is only the third time this has happened to me, watching Star Trek, but sometimes you watch an episode and you go, yep, that's my favorite episode.
Well, I wrote Josh cried S. That's
the true measuring stick.
That's the true measuring stick of a good episode, is whether you can bring the emotional stone wall of Josh Jackson to tears.
That's not my shoot last name, by the way. That's not it.
Stonewall Josh Jackson. Shoot name. Look him up on Facebook. No, this is a perfect episode, I will say. From beginning to end, from just letting these moments sit with Picard and Darren, Lieutenant Darren, right? And just watching this relationship build, bringing back in the elements of the inner light, and seeing how using Picard music and the inner light to open up to people, the fake death, closing the box, the direction from Robert Weimer, the performances from all the main players all around, from no plot to the end, to the emotional ups and downs. I can't praise it enough. It's going to be a short conversation because I have nothing bad to say about it.
It'll be a short conversation of complaints,
Yes.
but I think we're going to talk about it in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy Hughes, the Lieutenant Commander Nella Darren. I think as far as a one-off guest performance, has surpassed Kalar as my favorite guest performance of all time. She was just incredible, and both the actress and also the writing for her, no faults, no, oh, she's actually, a menace or something. She has her moments with Riker, but it's purely professional and leads to the conflict because of Picard's relationship. Before we can even jump into the particulars, I got to say, I've said before sometimes, if I was going to write a Star Trek episode, it'd be this one. I could never write a Star Trek episode like this because it's better than anything I would ever fucking write. This is if you had asked me, what do you want your perfect Star Trek episode? I wouldn't even say this because I wouldn't have the balls to believe they would make this episode. Holy fuck, dude. Oh my God. Season 6, I think might be my favorite season. I mean, this might have put it over the top. We'll get there eventually, but yeah, I mean, I'm just I'm blown away right now.
Yeah, still gushing. So am I. I was definitely brought to those moments of emotion as well, and it's nice when you don't think about it often, but there was times where I was sitting there and you're watching something, and I'm taking back all those moments in my past where you're watching something emotional or experiencing something emotional, but it hasn't hit you yet. I had not a watching myself moment, but aware of, oh, I'm watching something special. I'm aware I'm experiencing something special, and it's like, okay, I better enjoy this moment because once it's over, and I'm going to be gushing and thinking about this moment for a while to come. And it was nice to sit there and realize that, and just sit with that tension of is she dead or not? Sitting with that moment with those two in the Jeffries tube, with the camera panning out down the tube and the music playing, and you keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. When is, I'm actually a trill, and I'm actually an octopus.
Yeah.
I keep expecting, when is it gonna, and it never did. It never did, and it all came within the already established story of checking out this firestorm or whatever, and it's all built up to that. And like you said with Riker and her, every conflict felt natural and organic. That would happen. She's a professional person. She would want the best of her crew, and of course Riker's going to feel conflicted because Picard has a relationship that's decent for the first time in his life, and he's the captain. So everything stemmed and branched out naturally. Nothing felt, okay, this was pushed for plot purposes. Everything flowed like an episode of TV should flow.
Yeah, and you brought up feeling like you're watching something special, and I've had those moments throughout the show as well. Probably the first one that happened with TNG specifically. The bonding, That was the first one we're watching, and I'm like, oh. And then, since then we've had a lot, Iborg, Remember Me, for myself. The episode Quality of Life earlier this season with Data I really liked. And then also Chain of Command. There's been a lot of them.
Transfiguration.
But I do truly think I'm gonna sound so like hyperbolic and crazy in this discussion. I already know but like I truly think this is the first time watching the show that trying to think of how to put it. Like, I just love this franchise so much, and like it means so much to me. And like watching this episode, it's just like, oh man, it was just like a life. This sounds so dumb. Like it was just like, it all settling in, and part of it is that yes, we know these characters and the lore. In like, if someone just sat down and never watched the show and they watched this episode, I still think they would like it. I still think it, transcends. The story is told really well, but knowing Picard specifically, like it finally felt like we got some catharsis for Picard. Like finally, he gets to have something. And then when they brought in that plot, and you first brought it up about her dying, and like clearly that's what they're setting up, it just felt like it was being ripped away. And it's like, I don't usually get like this because it's like, it's a fictional character. It's like, who fucking cares? But like, I love these characters so much that like seeing Picard and that great shot from Robert Weimer when he's, under the table and he closes the flute.
Literally shutting out, any possible, okay, I'm done. I'm shutting out.
And it's like, yeah, I did have that visceral moment when she comes back and returns, and it's like, yeah, she's alive. But it's like, that's not even the moment that like hit me in this episode. Like that was nice, but once Worf chimed in and said there are survivors, I was like, okay, I think she survived, And then she comes back, but then when Picard says to her after, like, thinking she was dead, I shut down. I didn't even want to think or feel it, and it's just like, oh my god, like visceral. I will never be a Starfleet captain, but now I know what it would feel like, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I can only imagine meeting like the perfect person in your life and then thinking they're dead, and then even after that, it is a farewell, but it's not a goodbye forever, and it was like a bittersweet moment because she's not going to be there every episode, obviously, but they're leaving the door open that she could come back in the future, and I've done long distance before, and it sucks, and those goodbyes are terrible, so that hit me a little close to home.
And off of that, I mean, we talk so much about the stakes in this show, or across Star Trek, or in anything we watch, and we joke about, oh, the Enterprise is going to blow up. No, it's not. Or, oh, these characters aren't going to die. Like, obviously there was Tasha, there was Kalar, there's a few instances, but what a perfect way to set up this episode to be able to bring in this guest character. Like, I can't really think of many other guest characters that you can bring in and in the same episode make us invested in enough, make us love enough to where I don't want that person to die in that same episode. Like, usually I do not care. And, like, manufacturing sympathy or emotion for a character you just met is so many times so inefficient in TV, and they were able to do it so well here that, like, 15 minutes into this episode, my heart was racing. Like, I was like, you talked about watching something special. I was literally like, please, episode, don't fail me. And not just from her dying, but like, don't fail me in don't introduce a random plot that throws us off course, or don't make her evil. And it's like, I'm so glad it didn't. I'm so fucking glad that it just was itself, and it was a perfect. It even brought in a plot and did it well, and like brought it in, with the firestorm or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, did it well,
yeah,
and served the story. I'm in amazement, truly.
Yeah, and how about the continuation of the Interlight story and using that story to help tell this narrative as well? Not just, oh, hey, remember this? It perfectly encapsulated Picard, and like him being able to say, I don't usually open up to people, because when I do, it's special to me. Like, this is special to me, and me being able to share this with you is special to me because these people, I had an entire life and they all died. So, yeah, just great execution all around. And piggyback what you said, if they did introduce a plot early on, and it took away time between Picard and her, the ending wouldn't have hit as hard at all. And it was a gamble. It was a fucking gamble, because Star Trek has done that before. Let's put all the balls in this court of this new character, and sometimes it just fucking falls flat. X-Men Jean Grey, example. I don't think that was a home run with her. I mean, she was good, but it wasn't set up exactly the same. Or the deaf guy from season 2. Not saying Picard was in love with that guy, but I'm saying there's been plenty of examples where let's put all the emphasis on this character, and it does not work. This worked. They took a gamble with this. It's failed multiple times in the past, and they said, you know what, we're going to go for it. And she knocked it out of the park. Everyone knocked it out of the park. Everyone gets an A+.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, the biggest difference between those other examples you named and this one is Wendy Hughes, as Nella. So good. And not to say all those other guest actors were bad, but it's tough. You come onto this show that you're not part of, and you get this random guest character for one episode. It's tough to do that. And she did it so well. And again, I have to say the writing as well. I want to look up who the actual writers were. I think there were two.
Two of them I didn't recognize.
Ronald Wilkerson and Jean Louise Mathis. Just incredible. And also, I think why it worked is because, yes, she is the guest character. It's all focused on her, but it's through the perspective of Picard and Picard falling for her. And so I make fun of Star Trek timing and Star Trek falling in love all the time. I think this is the very first time I'm eating my words. Like, this is the very first time I'm like, yes, this love story was believable. I believe they fell in love. They instantly had just, like, insane chemistry in the opening. In their first scene, I was like, they didn't even say or do anything in that scene that instantly makes you think, oh, they're going to get together. But just their performances and their chemistry was instantly like, yeah, something's here. There's a spark here. It's obvious.
I wonder how many people they had to audition for this role. Like, hey, it's really hard to have a romantic interest with Patrick Stewart on screen.
They were aware.
As if they'd admit.
Yeah,
I don't think
they would tell them that, yeah.
But part of me thinks people, the script supervisors behind the scenes were, these people aren't really working well with Patrick. I don't know what it is. He's great with everyone else, but whenever it's romantic, it's tough.
Do you think it's crazy, though, that when you think about it and how condensed their schedule is, they didn't have time to audition people? Like, they probably just cast this lady and hope for the best.
Maybe,
and she was great. I mean, maybe but it's like they were on a, we always joke about it, they got 4 days or whatever,
Yeah, 4 days, you got to get this done. But I don't know. That's tough, yeah. It's not like it's for like a pilot episode or a pilot TV show or something for a show
for like a long-term character.
A show this deep in the game. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I mean, auditions happen all the time, especially for day players on daytime TV. There had to be auditions.
They do? Okay. Yeah, I'm ignorant to that process, so I don't know.
I'm thinking like Law and Order, SVU, the med shows, the fire shows. They audition for that. But I think it's really quick turnaround. I remember that. You have 2 days. You got to learn these three pages of sides. Send your tape in, and it was probably very similar to this. Hey, you got to audition for this the show. Or they'll probably tell them. I don't know. I don't think it's big top secret. You got Star Trek, blah blah blah. You got to learn these three pages. Come in Wednesday at 8, and they probably have to choose someone within 1 or 2 days, and they probably have hundreds of actors they have to go through. So
yeah. So let's talk about a different angle here for a second. Picard and Beverly, their couple of scenes. First, their dinner scene. Love it. I love that they're just having dinner, and it's nothing weird happens, nothing, no conflict, not even a teasing like we've seen in the past where they're like together and Beverly might tease him a little bit about whatever, like in The Perfect Mate, there was a scene like that. Mm-hmm. And not that that's bad, I'm just saying that's what I expected it to be. And then no, she didn't even say anything. And like later on we get some scenes like that, but I think she could tell a little bit that he was infatuated with her, but she doesn't push it, and just a great moment between them.
Yeah, she's a little curious later on when she's scanning her elbow. She's like, oh, another lesson later, huh? But yeah, I love their platonic friendship, just eating dinner, and I love Picard. Did you know that do you know that in 2 million years, or whatever he says about you can map out a star system? That's gonna happen to like regurgitating facts that that he just learned from her.
Yeah, she's like.
And I love the little tea scene as well. It's like, oh, you should try this tea, and he's like little cute stuff like that. I love. It's like they don't have to love everything about each other.
And the fact that when she gives it to him and he tries it, doesn't like it, and then when it cuts to him with Beverly, he's drinking the tea. It might have been a different one of her blends, but
yeah.
Just that little thing of like, because he likes her, he continues to try the teas.
Yeah, that's good writing right there for sure.
And then the scene with Beverly later on where she talks to her and is clearly a little bit more jealous. I love that didn't escalate anything. It didn't become some weird forced love triangle plot. It's just one scene where she's recognizing, oh, okay, like might be serious, and then that's it. And it just plays into the thing. And that's, again, one of those scenes where, because we've watched the whole show, it makes more sense to us. Even though they have basically dropped, their relationship, Beverly and Picard, in a romantic way, we've seen the whole show. So it hits us a little bit harder. And that was a great one. Can we talk about the music for a second? And them playing music together and all those things. I mean, first of all, the score was also great. They actually had a score in this one. But just the scenes where they're playing the music together, it was like, what a perfect way. If you ever wanted to convince me that Picard would fall in love with somebody, like, that is how. That is how he would do it.
Yeah, it's the absolute. Yeah, music would definitely be the best way, especially tying into that whole Inner Light continuation. I guess archaeology and history would also be a way to get into Picard's heart. I guess, but
yeah, sure. Yeah.
But you don't even need dialogue during those scenes. It's them working off each other and doing the different songs, and her encouraging him, being like, "Oh, try it like this," or give a little twist on it, and then watching him do that and seeing him light up and smile when she compliments him. Like, "No, you actually are good." Him smiling is the most heartwarming thing I've ever seen in my life.
And it's crazy that that's what started to get me. Like, I was already, emotionally invested, and then when they had that first music scene where she pulls out the, the layout keyboard, pretty cool, and they start playing, and he's just genuinely smiling at her, like, complimenting him, I'm like, you never see this side of Picard, and it's so great. And it's great, followed up right after that when then he goes to Riker, and he's, like, in such a good mood, and he's like, oh, we should fence later.
Yeah, he, like, pokes his chest.
Riker's like, oh.
Riker and his smirks, man. I love it. Just throughout this whole episode, it's the best.
And then also, this is completely basically irrelevant to what we've been talking about, but when they have the conference room scene, probably my favorite conference room scene, like, she brings up an idea of what to do, Geordi accepts it, it's not like an argument or a dismissive thing, he points out how to do it, there's some interesting different camera shots, and then the one on Riker pulls out to show him Picard, and we get to see Riker actually kind of do his job, or what he does in these situations a little bit more when... most of the show, he's like, yeah, I'm number one, I just am here. I'm the backup quarterback, basically, is the way he comes off. But here, it actually, this is what number one would do. The first officer would do. So, just another randomly amazing scene thrown in.
Yeah, I got no notes. Great. But yeah, great camera work during that scene, great camera work. Some odd lenses as well in the transporter room. Different placements of the camera, where the transporter room looked a bit smaller and it's a bit far back. Remember when Geordi and Scotty were working on the whatevers. Like, there's a shot with the Geordi standing there this episode, and like everything looks small. Like, some interesting choices, but also some good handheld, like following through the doors and all that.
They walked into the transporter room and showed him standing there.
Hallway shots, whether from the back or the front as well. A lot of those. Robert came in swinging.
And what's so amazing with it is, in a lot of episodes, like, we point that stuff out because that's kind of what. Like, that's what stands out when the material's not jumping off the page. Like, when the material's not amazing, it's like, oh, well, look at these cool camera shots. But here, it's both. Like, the material was so good, the writing was so good, the performances, and then Robert Weimer, with the camera work, on top of it, it's just like, this is why it's my favorite episode. There's nothing missing. There's nothing wrong with it. I guess, just in the sense that, at the end of the day, you can only focus on so many characters, so, like, Data doesn't really have anything here. Worf doesn't really have anything here. But, it's like, it is what it is. It's the episode, Troy, she has basically one scene. And it's great. With her and Picard. Perfectly. It shows their relationship.
Asking permission, basically.
And even what she says is such great advice when he's... Because I'd never thought about it. When he's like, I don't want my relationship, to compromise me. And she's like, well, you can't just cut off your feelings either. That could be even worse. And it's like, oh, you're right. It's like, shit. I think really the only correct answer is at the end when she transfers. Like, unfortunately, I don't think as a captain you could probably have a relationship with someone that is that high up. Like, if it's like a lower deck person or something that's not really in trouble, but if it's someone that's going out on away missions ahead of a department, like, you're going to feel that way every time something dangerous happens.
Yeah, it's I would not want to date someone in this line of work, unfortunately, but I don't want but I also want Picard to be happy. It's tough.
And that was a big storyline all the way back to TOS, with Kirk, never being able to love anybody because he has to love the ship, and I have always bought into that, like, I get it, but this episode is really what cemented it, where it's like, oh, this is why you can't, and it sucks, but it's true. It even makes me look at, like, his relationship stuff with Beverly differently, it's like, oh, that's why it never progressed, because it can't. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, that can't be the whole story every time. Because maybe that's part of the reason that Riker and Troy aren't together all the time either, because otherwise it just becomes a crux of every episode, that their relationships. The whole Jim and Pam thing. Okay, they're together, now we got to take the focus away from them, because otherwise every episode has to revolve around the relationship somehow, and every action they do somehow.
Yeah, I think when it's someone like Chief and Keiko, it works because they're not these huge characters that matter so much. But when if Deanna and Riker had been like legitimately together the whole show, it would feel weird when they're in these perilous, dangerous situations if we're not getting the grief and the worry from the other person. I mean, I even joke about it in a familial sense with Worf and Dorf. I joke about it like whenever Worf is sacrificing himself on some planet, and I'm like, what about your son? So it's like, I definitely would harp on it if, Picard was dating somebody and they didn't show what they showed in this episode. So it's tough to do. I gotta say, though, the music scene where they're in the Jeffries tube, and they're playing and it's echoing out, and then like they start hearing it in engineering. It might be my favorite scene of the whole series. I mean, it was so beautiful and powerful, and then it just like ended. Like there was no problem or conflict. It was just pretty amazing.
Just a nice moment between two characters, two actors, just killing it. I was worried that Geordi was gonna activate something, or like somehow that would lead into a bad plot where Geordi thinks something's wrong and he cuts off their air supply or something. There's music in there. It must be the
shut off the air supply.
I don't know. My mind immediately goes to, how are they going to fuck this up?
Flood the Jeffries tube with gas.
that should flood out that music. Even though all they have to do is, computer, where's this music coming from? It's coming from Jeffries tube D25. Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Darren are up there playing music. Oh, okay. But my mind goes to, because it didn't happen yet. I'm like, okay, when is the fucking stupid plot going to come in? Because because it's happened so many times.
Yeah, basically every single episode. I mean, even the bonding, they had to throw in the mom ghost. They always have to do it. And this might be maybe not the first time. I could probably think of others, but this is one of the only times where they bring it in. They do eventually have that plot, but it's tied into what's already going on in the slice of life stuff that enhances it. I've never felt more tense watching the show than that sequence of her on the planet. My heart was racing. I was like, I've never felt more tense than that. And then the release of the ending. I mean, it's just perfectly structured.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how, Picard with the probe and the flute is Interlight and all that. Isn't TNG kind of like that for us? Because it ended before we were even born. And then we're, experiencing this life.
Yeah, that's deep. Yeah, it is kind of like that. Kind of all of Star Trek that we've watched up to this point.
Yeah, not just TNG. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah,
it's. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for it because I don't think there's any other franchise that has the wealth of content and so much of it that's been so good. Like, hasn't all been good, but it's mostly been good.
But it's been a lovely experience, a lovely journey, and I'm so glad that this world exists and we get to experience it.
And if we ever get to a point in the real world where we have any type of holodeck technology, I'm living on the Enterprise D. I'm never leaving. That's where I want to be.
Could you imagine? And you're like in the action, like you're in the show.
In 10 Forward, watching that concert from this episode with Data and them, and it just another small moment, just like when Data's like, "You come to my concert," and Picard's like, "Wouldn't miss it." And Data just has just a little smirk behind his eyes. It's like,
it's perfect.
All right, so you want to have our hearts broken and read why people don't like this?
Yep, I'm ready for it.
All right, I'll start with bridge crew member Phil. An absolutely fantastic episode for Picard. Really does find a great match, but realizes that duty comes first. I love getting to see the side of Picard, and I'm genuinely sad that he doesn't stay with this lady. Yeah, I mean, it's so tough because, yes, I'm sad. I would have been way more sad if she died. But yes, it's sad, but I think it's the right decision at the end. I think they both make the right decision, which is what makes it so tragic.
Yeah.
Colin Meaney says, I love this episode, and even more, I love this character as a love interest for Picard. Finally, we have someone who matches his interests, intelligence, and integrity. The duet scene in the Jeffries tube where they play the folk tune from Catan is beautiful. As the camera pulls back, you are seeing a whole different kind of magic here. I have nothing to add to that. I just agree 100%.
100%. Enigmatic Penguin says, Picard sort of milling about in grief when he believes she has been killed is one of the most realistic portrayals of loss to me, having reacted similarly in my own life. This episode totally hangs on a good guest performance and the actress being able to believably be someone Picard would fall for. Not an easy acting job, and she nails it. Take a hike to DS9 Vosh.
Damn, the Vosh slander. She getting the.
I wasn't even going to slander her, but
Yeah.
you said it. Not me.
I got to point out, Keith S. says, it is a very heartbreaking story. Nella Darren was the best romantic foil for Picard. I was sad to hear a while back that Wendy Hughes passed in March of 2014. She was only 61. Well, rest in peace
Oh, Jesus.
to Wendy Hughes. Amazing performance here, and that is sad. That's way too young. But also it is a heartbreaking story with, Nella Darren and Picard as well, I agree. Here's another one, Bridge crew member Christopher. Picard confessing what it meant to him to share his music with someone, and that when he thought she was dead, that he might never play music again, really broke me. I'm glad she told him to keep playing. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Venus says, like others said, a good follow-up to The Inner Light. It's an important lesson for Picard, or anyone to learn. There is a risk that comes with letting yourself fall in love. That your heart might get broken. In my opinion, love is always worth that risk. Also, Lieutenant Darren had much better chemistry with Picard than Vash. Lol.
Agreed.
Right, the lesson I took from this is never fall in love.
Of course that's what you took from it. Damn it. Oh, man.
It's too risky.
Obviously, for me, I'm married. I also always think love is always worth the risk. I have been obviously extremely lucky. I mean, I met my wife when I was 19 and we've been married, so it's like a little bit different, but I think that's why stories like this hit me so hard, and it's just like, I agree with it.
I'm single and not compatible with anyone, so...
But you know what, though? Your explanation here, what you're talking about, that's kind of how I have felt for a long time about having a child. I mean, we've talked about it, right, on the show. And I've said, like, I don't think I could have a child because what happens if something happens to the child? I couldn't get over that. It kind of sounds like similar to what you're saying. And, me on the other side, being married, I see the other side of it. So it makes me think about, like, when it comes to having a child, like, oh, well, of course I think that now. But then what if I had the child? Well, I feel differently and, and be grateful I had the child. So your heart sucks, man. Like, your heart is just, there's certain things in life that are just, I don't believe in, like, I'm not a religious person or anything, but some of me thinks, like, okay, why are we here? Why are humans here in all this? And, like, why are these emotions so deep and real? It can't just be evolution. It can't just be instincts. Like, there has to be more. I'm getting way too deep here, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like sometimes with how deep, like, feelings are that don't make any sense, like love, it's like, why? It's like, why,
Yeah, I think human consciousness was a tragic misstep in evolution.
Yeah, for up to you, we would be like every other animal, no sentience or just no self-awareness.
Sometimes, anxiety, these feelings, like literally nothing fucking matters, Nothing that happens now is going to matter at all in 100 years. Why do I care? But then I do.
Yep.
And I shouldn't. And what are we talking about?
Paul, so here's the question. Will Josh and Alex buy into the chemistry between Picard and the passionate, confident Nella? Picard does like a strong woman. I know I did, but then again, I bought into Vash and Picard, so who knows? I think the storyline overall is better paced than Captain's Holiday. It is better paced, among other things.
we can give it that. It is better paced.
I'll respond to that in a second because there's another one that's very similar here I'll read. Ross Townsend asked, why do you guys think Nella was able to connect with Picard so strongly? We've seen Picard with Vash and watched him flirt with or be flirted with Janice Mannheim, Philippa Louvoy, and of course Beverly, but rarely is Picard's composure so visibly shaken. The real question is, did Nella connect with Picard or with Kamen? That's an interesting twist there at the end. Kamen from the Inner Light. Picard. I think there are certain people in life that are just like magnets and are just like, you can't escape them. And I think, Nella Darren is one of those people. That doesn't mean that just anybody would fall in love with her no matter what, but I think that's why the chemistry to me just stuck out, is that it's almost like there's no choice. There's no free will. It's just like, you see it and you're instantly like, yep, those two are going to work,
And also the actors too. Sometimes, like, acting makes no sense. It's not real, but sometimes I've heard it described as, filming with a camera, catching something good. It's like being a thief. Like we caught something, we stole it. It's like we caught something special, and that's what I think when I see these two characters on screen, especially with how bad or the chemistry has been with other characters. To watch these two actors who read these words that were written for them, this whole situation and this fake set and this fake spaceship in the middle of space, and we can catch something magic and real between two people. You can't explain it. It's lightning in a bottle. And you can draw real life emotions, real life changes, and physical reactions to something that's just bullshit. But it's not bullshit because there's something special happening there. You can't explain it. Is what I'm trying. They had something, not just the characters but the actors. So kudos, because it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. I'm not even joking.
Oh, thanks.
And I especially coming from us, we always look at it from the production side, from the making jokes about the directors and the actors, and so when you can suck us in and get us to look at it through the lens of this isn't Patrick Stewart and Wendy Hughes, this is Jean-Luc Picard and Nella Darren, and getting to look at it through that lens, and me just like feeling physical joy at seeing Picard smile over this, that's when you're cooking. That's when
It's literally magic. It's magic. You can't explain it. There's no explaining it. It's just stuff that doesn't make any sense, and you just put all these elements together, and you just bake a wonderful cake, and I don't know. It's great.